I wanted to pop in here and give you guys a little bit of a pep talk for when you are planning your year and trying to figure out what things to put on your calendar, how to strategize and make sure those are the best things on your calendar. Because as an entrepreneur, you know, I know that it can be very, very, very overwhelming, okay? There can be so much stuff that other people put on you and put on your calendar that doesn't really fulfill a master plan that we may have for our business. And if you are not discerning the things that need to be in your business, if you don't have a plan, then it's going to be so easy to fill your calendar with other things that aren't bringing you closer to your end goal. So I shared a graphic about a week and a half ago. It's this. I guess I can, let me try to turn my camera around for you guys because I want you to be able to see this. Hold on, guys. I'm going to turn my camera around and then I'm going to look funky because it always does that. There we go. It just makes you look weird. Okay. So I shared this graphic and I turned it around because we're going to walk through this, and I shared this for you so you guys can download it, use it as you need. It's a freebie that I gave to you. It's something that I just created this year to help me in my business because it's so easy to just be all over the board, especially if you are a creative. Most entrepreneurs have a little bit of a creative intuition side to them just because of the entrepreneurship mindset that they have. Even if you're not in the creative field, even if you're not in that's just kind of what's in our mindset. So I want to talk about what is taking your time. When you are filling your calendar, when you are trying to plan out your year, plan out your months, plan out your weeks, plan out your days, you really need to figure out what is taking your time. It has to be good for your business. It has to be good for you. It has to bring harmony, okay? There are days it may not be balanced, but it has to bring a sense of harmony, okay? So we need to figure out what's taking your time. Last year, I started doing more collaborations with other creatives in my field, which was great. And I'm using this as an example because when I started planning my year out, I started to get really particular about what I was putting on my calendar and whether it was bringing something to the table for me. When I do a collaboration, it's not all about what it brings to me, but it has to have something that it brings to me to help move me forward while I am also serving and helping the person that I'm collaborating with too. So it's a two-way street, okay? It can't be all give, it can't be all take, it has to be a give and a take. So I was doing these collaborations and they were great. They were basically the type of collaborations that I was doing is they were lives where I was getting on and doing like crafting hops with other creators. And they were great. They are great. They are still great. And I will still do some this year. But if you are trying to own a business, I want you to be very particular and selective about what you put on your calendar. It was getting to the point where I was filling my calendar with those, and I was not giving them the time that they needed. I was not really planning the project out in full like I want to. I was not giving it the lead up time that it needed and giving it the time on the backside that it needs as well. Okay, because there is more that goes into running a business than just getting on, hopping on, doing I'm just going to use crafts in my world just because that's what I do. But even if you're in a different genre, a different field, it's still going to mean the same thing. I'm just going to use those as examples. So when you get on and do a live, whether it be a project that you sell and you are trying to get sales for, whether it be just a Dollar Tree craft that you're trying to get more people onto your page for, whatever it is, there is stuff leading up to it and there is stuff on the back end when you're done. You don't just hit the finish button and then never talk about that video again, never share the video, never promote it, never do anything. And so I wasn't giving the time that was needed to the collaborations that I was doing. And so as I was planning my year, I'm trying to create a better master plan for my business, which is what you really, really need to have. You have to have a master plan because you have all these little funnels that go, multiple funnels, but they should all point to one master plan that you have, okay? And that's going to be different. That's going to be different for everybody. I have a couple master plans because, like right here, I have the business side where I do a little bit of business coaching. That's one funnel, okay? Or that's one big master plan. And then I have another side, which is my DIY kits, and that's the bread and butter of my business, and that's how I make the most of my money. And the creative memberships that bring people there, that is the bulk of what I do, okay? So when you are filling your calendar and you get approached by other people who want to do collaborations and things like that, I want you to really think about what it will bring to your business, okay? Yes, you have to think about what you can bring to the person that is asking you for the collaboration because they have to know what's in it for them too. But in order to decide if it is the correct spot for you to be, you really need to ask what is going to bring to your business. And then the other thing is if you are going to say no, then you need to think about, are they going to respect your time? If you say no, is this going to be a partnership that they're like, okay, well, she said no, she doesn't have any time for me, and I'm just never going to ask her again. And if that is the case, then it's probably not. Hello, Denise. Good morning. If that is the case, then it's really probably not a good fit for you at any point in time. Even if 6 months down the road, you're like, oh, wow, this seems really enticing. But if they don't respect your time of what you are filling your calendar with, because you are the owner of your business and you are the only one that knows what is good for your business, no matter what it looks like from the outside. So ask yourself, are they respecting your time? The majority of the time they do. I mean, there are a few instances where they may not respect your time and you just maybe need to reassess that in the future if they ask you again, or if you start doing something and you want to ask them to do a collaboration, just put it in the back of your mind and help discern your decisions a little bit. So if you say yes to something that you're adding to your calendar, maybe you don't have time. Maybe you don't have the time on your calendar to put this new collaboration, partnership, new product, new whatever it is. But maybe you really have a fire in you about it. And so how can you accommodate and strategize for that? Okay. When we're making our calendar for the year, it needs to be very concrete and very, you have to know exactly what you're doing where, but it also needs to be fluid. And I know that it sounds kind of contradictory, but it needs to be concrete. You need to know exactly what this is going to be for, what this is moving you forward in your plan with, and what all of that means. And it has to point to your master plan, but it also needs to be fluid. And the reason I say that is because things are going to come your way. As you grow your business, things are going to come your way that you can't plan for. 6 months down the road, you may be approached with something by someone, or you may just have a new opportunity to offer a new product or a new service. And you have to be able to, your schedule has to be able to be fluid, because then you don't want to let those opportunities go when they are good for your business and when they are going to help you move yourself forward. And so the things in your calendar need to be able to move a little bit so that you can strategize and accommodate for when the opportunities do come up. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So your calendar needs to be concrete, but it also needs to be very fluid. Okay, and they're for two very different reasons. I want you to stop trying to impress the masses, okay? I want you to do you. And that's really hard sometimes, because when you are an entrepreneur, when you are, oh, Denise, tag her in here. Get her in here to listen to this, because it is a huge struggle for many entrepreneurs, many small business owners. When you are following, let me rephrase that. So because I'm in business, I watch what other business women do. I watch what other people in business do, not just women. I don't want to zero in on that. I watch what other people are doing in their business. You watch what trends are on. Okay. You watch all of the things that are going on in the world that your business is in. And it's really, really easy to get stuck in a rabbit hole and forget to do you. Okay, you begin to impress the masses. Okay, so you begin to impress the masses when maybe it's not really the core of who you are, or the core of who your business is. And so I want you to do you. And the only way that you can truly do you and not be bombarded by all of the other mess, it's not mess. I don't want to say mess, because there's great stuff out there. But in order to be overwhelmed by all of the stuff going on in the world around you, you have to be confident in what your business looks like right now and what you want your business to look like in the future. Okay. And I know what I want my business to look like in the future, and that can change. Okay. So when you have your calendar and when you have a master plan, you are able to stay you. Okay. You glean information and insight from other people. Yes, you build it and they will come. You glean information and insight from other people, but you are staying on the path to what your ultimate goal is. So let me give you the story of it this way. You know, when you're on an airplane and they are giving you the spiel of the safety, and the flight attendants are talking to you about the oxygen masks and everything else. Okay, what do they tell you first? They tell you that you must put your oxygen mask on you first, because if you do not have your oxygen mask on, then you cannot help serve. You cannot help collaborate. You cannot partner with anyone else because you don't have yours on. Yes, they have to know what your brand is. They have to know you. So put your oxygen mask on. Your oxygen mask is going to be your calendar, which I'm going to talk to you a little bit about this today. I know this seems overwhelming, but I want to give you this freebie for a reason, to help you plan your calendar. And don't feel like, because it's January, what is it? I think it's January 12th, that you're like, I'm 12 days into the year and I don't have my calendar planned yet. It's not too late. Okay, it's not too late. You start today, because you don't want to get to December 31st at the end of this year and be like, I didn't do it. And that's another year where I inched closer to my goal. But I can guarantee you that if you put the practices in place that I teach you, you're going to jump to your end goal quicker than instead of being a turtle. Okay, so you don't want to be that way. I want you to ask yourself some questions. How do I get this for her? Denise, you can just share this group with her. Brandy, I will check that out. You can share this group with her. It is a public group. This is not a part of my paid group, which isn't open yet anyway. But if she is on, just share this group with her. You might be able to tag her in this group. Right now, you may be able to tag, if you type the little @ symbol and then her name, it may pull up into where you can just tag her in this. So I want you to ask yourself, I have 4 questions I want you to ask yourself when you are planning to do different things in your business. And this doesn't just mean collaborations. It doesn't just mean partnerships. But when you have opportunity coming your way, or when you are planning a new step in your business, or when you are planning a new launch or a new product or a new service, whatever it is, I want you to ask yourself these things. And the first one is, are you exhausted? Okay, there's a reason. If you are completely exhausted where you are in business right now, you will not have 100% success with whatever it is that you're wanting to add. Okay? Now, I want to put this disclaimer out there that as an entrepreneur, we're always exhausted. I don't know about you, but for me, I'm always exhausted, but I still have a passion for what I do. I still have a drive for what I do. But yes, I'm exhausted. It is tough work running a business on your own if you don't have a team. Even if you have a team, you just have different responsibilities and you're exhausted. But the difference comes when I ask you that question. I am truly asking you, are you exhausted? Can you give 100% to what it is that is standing in front of you? Okay? If you can't, then you need to take a step back and you need to say, hey, okay, if this is something you really want to do, then you need to look at your calendar and say, okay, how can I strategize and accommodate and be a little bit more fluid, like we talked about, in my calendar, okay? So that you're not starting something on exhaustion that you're not going to get success from, okay? Number 2, are you being productive or are you just being busy? Okay, those are 2 very different things. Thank you for typing these out, Denise. I thoroughly appreciate that. Are you being productive or are you just being busy? Again, 2 very different things. When you are productive, you are moving forward on a plan that you have in place. You are doing all of the things that need to happen with that success, with that launch, with that service, with that product, with that collaboration, whatever it is. Are you productive? If you are productive with it, it's going to move you forward in business. If you are just filling your calendar, then you're probably just over busy. Okay? It's as simple as that. Ask yourself, are you productive or are you just making yourself over busy? Okay? Number 3, are you afraid of being uncomfortable? And that's a tough one because a lot of times we take these little baby steps in our business because we're afraid of the uncomfortableness that would happen if we take this big step. Okay? Because if you are going to grow your business and if you are going to follow the steps that I put in place, your business is going to grow and you are going to be, you're going to not stumble upon, but you're going to happen upon opportunities that are bigger. They're going to take you from here to here. Okay? Where the things that you may be doing right now, you're going this way towards your goal. Okay? But if you put the plans in place, you are going to jump from here to here. Okay, you're going to get to your end goal faster. And so you need to ask yourself, are you ready to be uncomfortable? Because if you're not, then you need to reassess that. If you are afraid of being uncomfortable, then you need to be very cautious about what you are putting into your business, and you need to be very cautious about who you're collaborating with and the things like that, because uncomfortableness is going to propel you forward. If you stay in your comfort 100% of the time, I'm not saying you won't do great in your business. You may have a comfort level to where you are making a certain amount of money, you have the clients that you want, and you are just comfortable in what you're doing, and maybe you don't want any more than that, okay? Maybe that's okay. But if you want more than that, you have to be afraid of being uncomfortable. Okay, so are you ready to be uncomfortable? Are you afraid of being uncomfortable? You need to ask yourself those things. And the 4th question, it kind of goes in line with the 3rd one. Are you afraid of being uncomfortable? And that's, are you ready for the success? Are you ready for the things that that's going to bring you? Because if you are overwhelmed right now, if you are exhausted right now, there's going to be things that come in your business that you have to be ready for. You have to be ready for more responsibilities. You have to be ready for the management of new things. And maybe that means employees. And I'm not saying that that means multiple, tens of hundreds of employees, but maybe that just means 1 or 2 employees. Maybe you need to hire a VA. Maybe you want to hire a social media manager. Maybe those two things in and of themselves, you have to be ready for the responsibilities that it takes to manage those things. Even though it's freeing up time on your side to create new things, you have to be ready to still manage the things that are moving you forward, okay? There's a huge difference between being a small business, being an entrepreneur and being a CEO, okay? An entrepreneur is typically a single person. That's wrong. That's wrong. You can be an entrepreneur and have multiple people. But the differences between being an entrepreneur and doing things on your own and going down paths and fulfilling your master plan is a lot different when you become a CEO and you have people under you, okay? So it depends where you want to be, okay? So let's dive in to trying to fill your calendar with things that push you forward, things that motivate you. And there are people out there right now, and they're all the things in January that you are happening upon is about time management, planning, and all of these things. And it can be very overwhelming to figure out all the things that you need to put on social media in general, okay? And when I talk about social media, I mean different things, Pinterest, YouTube, social, Facebook, Instagram, all the things that get you in front of your customers' eyes. So when you think about it and they tell you, oh, you have to post this many times a day to Instagram. You have to do this many stories on Instagram. You have to post this many times to Facebook. You need to schedule this to Pinterest. You need to do this. You need to do that. And you're like, holy moly, I don't know how to do that. That is way too much. And how am I going to create that much content? Okay, so it is a lot, and I will teach you that a lot of it can be automated so that you don't have to just sit every day and figure out how to do it. But I want to teach you guys how to take one piece of content and create and fill your calendar with one piece of content. Okay, so I'm going to show you this. I laminated this so that you guys could see it better, but we're going to walk through this, okay? This is shared in the group here. You can print it out, you can laminate it. And there's a reason I laminated mine is because I want to be able to take a dry erase. And when I create my offer, and we're going to talk about what that is in a minute. When I create my offer, I want to be able to go around and say, okay, I've done that, I've done that, I've done that, I've done that. I want to be able to mark off everything that I've done so that I can erase it when I have my next offer, okay? When I have my next, whatever it is. So for me, I have a blog and I put recipes on there. I put DIYs on there. I share things on social media here. So the majority of the time, I either create new product or I put things on my blog. Okay, those are the two things that I offer. I offer the service of teaching you how to create, how to DIY, and then I offer you the product. Okay, so the product on my website that you can buy, whether it be completed projects or DIY kits. Now, put this in context of your business. Okay, whatever it is that you offer. Maybe you're a photographer. Maybe you're a writer. Maybe you sell real estate. This offer here can be limitless. Okay, this is where you put your product, service, whatever it is, okay? So whatever that is every month. My goal in my business is to do 2 a month, okay? So you figure out how many of these you want to do a month. But all of this stuff here is what's going to fill your calendar. Okay, so let's start with the 1. I have a blog post, okay? So when I create my blog post, I'm going to write on here, I have a blog post. And I'm just using this as an example. Okay, this can be a DIY kit. This can be anything that you want it to be. Mine's my blog post. So now I want to think about, we're just going to go in order here. So up here, a printable. Can you create a printable for that blog post? If so, do you want it to be free? Are you going to offer it as a free download on your website? Is it going to cost anything? Okay. And then you have to create your actual graphics. Okay. So when you create a printable, you have to decide if it's free, if it's going to cost anything, and then you have to actually create the printable. Okay. So once those are all done, you mark them off. You've done that. Okay. So you have created the offer, the product, the service on your website, whatever that may look like. And you have now created the graphic for it that you can share across all the social medias. So next up, we're going to just pop up here on Pinterest. If you are on Pinterest, I'm going to tell you, if you're a business owner, you should be on Pinterest. If you're not using Pinterest to its full advantage, then you are losing out on huge potential for your website, for your products, for your services. So on Pinterest, you want to create your graphics for Pinterest. Okay. They may or may not be the same. Well, they won't be the same as the printable. They may or may not be the same as all of the other things, all of the other graphics that you create here. And we're going to get to that at the bottom on graphics. Oh, I hope she likes this, Denise, because there's a lot of information that I am throwing at you right now. And this is free information for you. So then you schedule it on Pinterest. So once you've done that, once you have your Pinterest graphics and you've scheduled it to Pinterest, then you mark those off. Okay. So now for social media and all of the things that go off this one thing, you have these done right now. Okay. So now we go over here to Facebook. Facebook is where you are right now. Facebook is a huge proponent and propeller to businesses. And it is where it's my favorite social media. Okay. That's where I store and share the bulk of my information. So you have Facebook. Now you need to ask yourself, okay, do you have a group that you can share this information to? If you have a group that you can share this blog post, product, service, or whatever, share it to that group. Okay. When it's been shared, scheduled, whatever, when it's been shared to that group, mark it off. Okay. Can you do a live on it? Okay. So if you can do a live on it, if I created this blog post and say it was a DIY, I can do the DIY on a blog or on a live. I can teach people how to do it. So if they don't want to read through the directions on my blog post, they can come to my live and watch it, because you're reaching different people. Okay. You are reaching different people. I want you to make sure you understand that. One customer of mine is not going to do all of these. Yes, I do use Zoom, Denise. One customer is not going to see all of these. You're doing all of these to reach all the customers. Okay. So can you do a live? And then from the live, can you create that into a YouTube, a reel, or a TikTok? Okay. So you can take that live that you did on Facebook and create all of those other things. Okay. So, and this is all stuff we talk about in my business coaching, my paid group. Okay, so now we have all of those things marked off. And then a simple post. Can you just make a simple post on Facebook about it? And you don't want to do this all in the same day. Okay, these are things that we do this, and then we space all these things out on our social media throughout the month. Okay, so schedule it so you're not like bombarding all of your followers with a blog post, a live of the same things within 1 week. Okay. They don't want to see it that way. They're going to like, she just showed this. Okay. So then can you share it in a Facebook story? And then can you share it in any other groups? Okay. There are groups that allow you to share things in. Okay. So this one offer right here, this one product, this one service. Good morning, Terry. And then you have, sorry, I'm backwards. This is backwards when I turn it around so you guys can see it. So after this, you have all of this that you've done on social media, okay, that you can schedule in on your calendar. Okay, so when you create your offer, whatever it looks like, put it on your calendar. On this day, I'm going to share a post to my Facebook. This day, I'm going to do a story. This day, I'm going to do a live, okay? So you're creating content that you need to fill your calendar off of one thing that you did. So now you have Instagram. If you're on Instagram, you have different things that you can do there. You can create a reel, you can create a post, you can create a story, and then you can also share there. Okay. So we're going to mark off those things once those are all on our calendar. Okay. So look at all of these X's that we have now put content onto our calendar to help us fill up our social media and getting in front of the eyeballs of who we want to get in front of. Okay? One offer, I need you guys to understand this. One offer has put you in front of lots of different things. Okay? So then you have YouTube. You may or may not be on YouTube. One of my goals this year is to grow YouTube. Okay, so when you are ready to take that step, you also have YouTube. You need to edit the video. Okay, I take my live videos that I do on Facebook and I edit them for YouTube. So I'm not creating a second video. Okay, I'm taking the one video and editing it, which is super easy. There's lots of programs out there that you can use. I am taking one video and I'm going to edit that down. And then I'm going to create my graphics. I just shared one yesterday. If you're on my business page, I just created a title page and a title, I guess what would it be called? The title, and then at the end I have an image that shows the end. I created those graphics and I'm going to use them on every video so they're cohesive and can go along with my brand. And so once you create these graphics, you can use them across the board all the time. You don't have to create these graphics all the time. You can go look at my video and kind of see what I talked about. I'm so glad this is great for you, Denise. I mean, I hope this is valuable to you guys. I want you guys to use this. And then sharing. Okay, once you've posted it to YouTube, you can also share it to Facebook. Okay, even though you've already done a live, schedule it out to go be on Facebook in a month. Okay, whatever that looks like, depending on the type of content that it is. Canva is a program that I use to create all my graphics for a lot of everything on here. Okay, so typically after I do this, I go to Canva and create all of my graphics. Okay, so we have that. Once all your graphics are done, we're going to mark that off right there. And I could have put these in order. You're going to be able to fly through this once you know what you're doing. Obviously, in order to create your product or your service or your offer, you have to purchase your supplies to get that. Okay, so I put that on there. I wanted to try to think of everything that you needed to create this in order to create all of this. Okay, so you have to purchase supplies, depending on what it is you're doing. The next one, let's hop up here to actually creating the product. If you're creating a product and not a service. So when you're creating the product, and I put this on here because this is great for my DIY kits that I send out. Have I sourced my supplies for my kits? Okay, I've done that. You have to have your manpower to actually put it together. You have to schedule that in. This month, I am putting together 60 daisy boxes. And I have to schedule in, I'm actually doing it this week. I had to put on my schedule, I had to block out the time on my schedule to put that manpower in, okay? Because I'm doing that all myself. You have to put that on your schedule. Or your shipping week is gonna be here, and you're gonna be like, holy crap, I have all of this that I thought I was going to do this week. I have this I need to do and this I need to do, and I did not schedule the time in to do this, okay? And then shipping, okay? Because that's a big one. I mean, it takes time to ship 60 boxes. All right, so then down here on revenue, you have to think about the sell price, okay? So what it's going to be, what the cost is for you. So if you sell something at $20, how much does it cost you? Because you have to know that. If you are putting stuff out there and you don't know what it costs you, then you need to back way up, because you are not going to make money if you don't know what stuff is costing you. And what's the value to your customers? And then another thing, once you get deeper into business, you can create affiliate links. So have you created those on your blog post? Have you created those for your group? You can have affiliate links for your group. And then let's go up here. The last one is email. Okay, so you must, if you do anything in business, you must, Denise, thank you. My goal this year is to get to 100. And I told my son today, my goal was to get to 100 boxes by the end of the year. And he's like, you're totally going to do that. In 9 months, you've already gotten to 60, and you're giving yourself 12 more months to just get 40 more? He's like, you're totally going to do that. This is my, oops, I dropped it. This is my 12-year-old telling me this. I've taught him well. So I was like, okay, maybe I will revamp my goal and make my goal 100 by my 1 year mark, which is in April. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to try to get to 100 boxes by 1 year. Let me back up to that a little bit. You have to, when you are planning your calendar, you have to take these baby steps. If I tell myself that I want to grow by 200 boxes by March, then that's going to be overwhelming. I'm not going to have the manpower in place. I'm not going to have any of that in place. So it is better for your business to grow at a consistent rate versus jumping way, way, way up to where you're like, oh, I don't know how to do this month. I don't know how to do it. Okay. So all of this is going to help create consistency. What I was telling you with email is make sure you have an email. Okay, the one thing, if you take anything from this and if you don't do anything else with this, you have to be able to capture email addresses. One of the things that we talk about here in my business coaching group is that you do not own anything on Facebook. Okay? Facebook owns that content. Facebook owns your likes. Facebook owns your follows. You do not own any of that. And so the one thing that you need is you need to be able to capture email addresses from those that follow you, from those that want to connect with you, from those that want to learn more and get more from you. Okay? There are ways to do that on Facebook. There are ways to do it through a website. Okay, but you have to have email. And then once you have that email, you can do all these other things. But once you have that email, now you can email your followers your post. Okay, so my blog post that I created, because that's our example, and remember, it depends what this is. You can email them, hey, check out this new product, check out this new whatever it is. Check out this new free DIY that I shared with you. Okay, whatever that is, you can email them the post. If you have a video, schedule that out. Remember that Facebook Live video that you did, that you also shared to YouTube, that you also shared to your Instagram stories? Now you can share it to your email group, okay? So you have 2 emails that you can create and send to people. And then you want to be able to schedule Evergreen. Okay, so Evergreen is something that is always green. That means something that always brings money. If you have a DIY, if you have a product, if you have a service, if you have something that people can use every day, that's considered evergreen. The difference is holiday and seasonal. Okay, if you have something that's holiday related, Christmas, okay, you can't share Christmas stuff in March because it's not going to be relevant to anybody that wants to know anything. If you have seasonal things, you're not going to share a summer project in November because it's not relevant. Okay, so figure out whether your content is evergreen or seasonal, and then these 2 are going to be related to that. If it's evergreen, sorry, that's this one. If it's evergreen content, then schedule that out in your email to go out more this year. Because why wouldn't you? Just as a reminder, it's going to just be a reminder in someone's email box, or maybe they scanned over the email the first time and didn't see it. Or maybe they weren't a subscriber to your email list the first time, and now they're going to see it for the first time. I don't use Talk Fusion, Denise. I may have to see what that is. I will write that down, and I will see what that is. Let me write that down. So then, if it's evergreen, schedule it out, okay? I recommend 3 times a year for evergreen content. And then if it is holiday or seasonal, do a 1-year share. So if I have something right now, I am creating a lot of Valentine's content. Okay, that's not evergreen. And so I can't share Valentine's content in August. Okay, but I can take this email, take this post in which I created this email, or take a video over here that I created and create an email, and then I can reshare it in a year when it's relevant again, okay? SOC. I don't use that either. I don't know what that is. I know a lot of things, but I don't know everything. Okay. So that's a lot of information I threw at you guys. Okay, so now I have all of this stuff that I was able to do and put on my calendar, schedule it out as needed off of one thing. Now, you can dive deeper into this because there are lots of things on here that can be automated that a VA can do. If you're not at that step yet, then get comfortable with making this automated. Okay, there are a lot of things on here that you can make automated. That way it just kind of happens and it's scheduled. And when you get to the next step to where you want to start creating more offers, more products every month, so you can focus on creating this and other people can help you do this. Okay, does that make sense? That's the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is for you to do more of what you can do and let other people do what they're capable of doing. Okay? Because only you can create the product that is your brand. That's you. Only you can create the service that is your product and your brand. But someone else can create your Pinterest graphics. Someone else can schedule it on social media or on email or on all the things. Okay? So when you get to that point, you have this automated and you know completely how it works, like a well-oiled machine. And it's going to be easy for you to say, hey, I need to hire a VA now to help alleviate some of my time. And you're going to pay them $100 a week to manage some of this, whatever that looks like. So print this out, laminate it. You don't have to laminate it, but it is definitely something. I'll erase this off in a minute. I don't have a paper towel in here. Use it. Okay, I'm giving you this as a free source for you guys to use because it will change the trajectory of your business. I promise you. I promise you, I promise you, I promise you. Just put it in place. And you may have some stumbling blocks along the way. You may struggle with, and this is also going to say, you're going to look at this and you may say, oh, wow, I really need to put that as a goal for my focus for the year. Maybe you're not on YouTube. Maybe you don't use Instagram very much. I don't use Instagram very much. Like I told you, one of my goals is YouTube. Maybe you don't really know how to use Canva. Okay, so make that a goal. Maybe you don't have an email list. So this is also going to help you get those goals in place because you're going to look at this and see all of the areas where you can do one thing and share it in multiple ways. And you maybe need to implement some of these. So put that on your calendar. Okay, put on your calendar. Okay, by the end of February, I'm going to learn how to use Canva. It's a free source. Okay? I hope that helps you guys out. Oh, perfect timing, Denise, because I'm done. I hope this helped you guys out. I hope you guys use my resource. If you guys have any questions, please, please, please do not hesitate to ask me. Shoot me a message, post here in the group, whatever it is. And have amazing success this year. Okay, I want to see you guys go from here to here this year. And I want to hold your hand and see you guys do that along the way. So have an amazing rest of your week and go kill those dreams, ladies. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.